Alright, Schlockmeister fans, from the Pure Terror collection, we're going to watch something called Blood Sabbath. Let's check it out. Our movie starts out with this guy named David, played by Anthony Geary. You might remember him as Luke on General Hospital. He gets assaulted by some hippies. Anyway, he's wandering through the woods after just returning from Vietnam, and he meets this woman from the water.
How'd I get here?
She plays Yala.
Oh, wait, please. Don't go.
Let me go.
Anyway, Yala leaves, then he meets some dude named Lonzo.
I found you near the lake. I found those clothes in the woods not far from here. I figure they must be yours.
I did see her.
He wants to find her again.
Gotta find her. Got to.
Literally all he's got to do is turn around. Eventually he finds her again.
I looked everywhere for you.
They have a visitor. That's Diane Thorne. She plays Queen Alada.
Bring him to me.
No, that is not part of our agreement.
I want him, Lonzo.
I will bring you a child, just as I have done each year. Nothing else.
We get a little insight as to what Yala is.
There is a legend of a water nymph who lives in the cove. They say she is very dangerous and has mysterious powers. But it is only a legend.
Because I think I love you.
You might recognize Yala from the Wilderness Family movies.
You love me.
She played the mom.
Well, I may come back after you've had enough time to think about it.
Yala! I do love you.
For really no reason in particular, we're treated to a Vietnam flashback where apparently David killed some kids.
Think that you can trick me.
This is the local padre. He must have some sort of deal
Now,
with
why would
Alada.
I want to do that?
She's some sort of witch.
You kept your part of the bargain. You haven't interfered. And I've kept mine.
She tries to seduce him with a bunch of naked
This
women.
one, Padre, is Karma. You've known Karma before.
I guess they're all witches.
Stop. No more children. No more souls.
You speak for all the villagers.
Yes. I speak for them finally as their priest.
I...
I'm gonna destroy you and your cult! I swear by my God, I will destroy you and your cult.
Next thing you know, she pulls out a voodoo doll of the priest. Here's Lonzo has chosen a child.
What are you doing with this child?
This is none of your business.
Where are you taking her?
You would not understand. This has nothing to do with you.
Where are you taking this child, Lonzo?
Look, this is something that has been going on for many, many years.
What has?
An agreement. An agreement with the witches.
They want a soul, right?
Right?
I don't want mine. Don't you see? Lonzo, it's the only way I can be with Yala.
No, David, you can't.
Lonzo, you've got to help me, please.
So he wants to sacrifice his own soul to save a child and to be with
Lonzo
Yala.
won't bring the child.
And how does that concern you?
I sent them back.
That's true. The villagers will pay very heavily.
Just get it over with.
Afterwards, you can never return to your world, your people.
I don't care about that. All I want is Yala.
So some sort of ritual is
On
performed.
the eve of the next full moon, her will return here on the blood Sabbath.
And then his soul leaves his body. And he finds Yala. And the two of them do as couples do. He's not quite done yet, though. They drained some blood from one of the ladies, and he's got to drink it. If you've seen the cover of the VHS box, the blood dripping from his mouth is what you see on it. Now he's kind of high on blood, and he sees Alana, or is it Yala? Who knows?
That's your task. Bring me his head on a platter. I'll give you Yala.
If she wants the priest's head.
Soon he'll be one of us. No, I won't let that happen. Oh. And how do you propose to stop it? I'll fight you, Alana. I'll fight you with everything I have.
Well, sure enough, David goes to sneak in on the Padre's abode. Will he get his head? We don't see what happens, but we do see the aftermath. And that real fake looking head there tells you that he got him.
Yala did it. Tell you Yala did it. She did it because of David.
You lie. Where are they? What have you done to them?
Together, they're together.
Oh, no, it is you who have done this.
Well, now Alonzo think Yala's to blame for the dead priest, so he's gonna go after them. After a brief scuffle, Alonzo does not succeed.
David. Yala's gone and you come back to me as agreed.
She's about to show her big boobies to him. I can't show you those. She goes in for the kiss. And he stabs her. As she dies, she puts a curse on him.
I call one of your own people to come and kill you.
What does that mean? That means a van shows up out of nowhere and tries to run him over. Is that the end of poor David? Actually, no. Our water nymph Yala shows up, and he's okay. And this is kind of how our movie ends.
No one seemed quite sure.
All right, let's talk about the movie Blood Sabbath. Do not have a standalone DVD for this. It's on this Pure Terror collection. I do actually have the VHS of this. It's a large box. Was it kind of the home video? I'm not sure. But a quick story before we get to the movie. Years ago, I was going to renew my wedding vows, and I did it in Las Vegas. And at the time, I remember looking up and seeing that Diane Thorne, who was from Ilsa fame and also in Blood Sabbath, was doing weddings in Las Vegas. So I thought, I'm going to call her up and see if she'll renew my vows. Talked to her on the phone, and sure enough, set it up, and we did renew our vows, and it was Ilsa herself, Diane Thorne, who renewed my wedding vows. I have some really cool video from that event. And I remember at the time, I talked to her a little bit about her acting days and her movies that she did, and I brought up the movie Blood Sabbath because I had just seen it recently. And I asked her about it, and she said, I never got paid for that film. The director ran off or something, and she just never got paid. And she said, I'd never even seen the film. And I said, I got all excited. I was like, oh, do you want a copy of it? And she's like, no. So there you go. Anyway, I had my wedding vows renewed by Diane Thorne a long time ago. She's now deceased. Her husband, actually, who was also in some of the Ilsa movies, his name was Howard, I think, Howard Vernon, maybe. He actually participated in the ceremony as well. He played some keyboards and stuff, and cool guy. Anyway, it was really cool meeting Diane Thorne, but I digress. The movie itself, Blood Sabbath. I originally got this movie probably in the summer of 1989, rented it from a video store. May have been Vid Video in True Rivers, Wisconsin. It could have been TNR Video in True Rivers, Wisconsin, too. I don't know. One of those stores, I think, had it. And taped it. I had on the same tape with The Shaming and maybe a couple other movies. Blood Sisters, which I think is Nightmare. Had 4 movies on one tape. It was a VHS tape and EP speed, so you could squeeze 4 movies on a tape back then. Never really watched the movie. Didn't see it till years later, and I've seen it a couple times since then. It's a very strange movie because we're not exactly sure what's going on. There appears to be some sort of coven of witches hanging out in the woods of Southern California, and every year they have to kill a child, sacrifice a child to the gods or something. I don't know. It's never really explained why these witches need to do that, but the witches are led by Alada, Queen Alada, who's played by Diane Thorne, and most of her other witches run around naked the whole time. If they're not topless, they're fully nude, running around. There's a lot of nudity in this movie, including Anthony Geary himself. He's has a nude scene as well. Anthony Geary plays David. He wanders into the woods for some reason. He's having some sort of Vietnam flashback stuff going on, and he's just a loner. He meets this woman in the water, played by Susan DeManti Shaw, who was the mom on the Wilderness Family movies in the 70s, a few years later. She's apparently some sort of water nymph. I don't know what exactly relationship she has to the witches, but she does, like, they're aware of each other, and I don't think they get along, but they accept each other. I don't know. But anyway, they need to sacrifice this woman to get her soul, and somehow David finds out about this. He's like, I'll give her my soul instead. We'll save the child. I'll give her my soul, and then I can be with Yala, the water nymph. I don't know how he makes that connection, but he does. So he agrees to the ritual. He drinks some blood. His soul is taken away, I guess. We literally see his soul walk out of his body. And he's like, I'm free. I can be with Yala now. And he goes and finds Yala, but then something happens between Alada and David ends up having to kill Alada. And then there was a priest. They cut off his head. Somehow he finds Yala in the water at the end of the movie because he'd been knocked into the water by a van. Alada put a curse on him right before she died, saying, you're going to be killed by your own people. And then a van ran him over into this little creek. And then Yala showed up and saved him. I don't know if he was dead or she brought him back to life or whatever, but Yala and David kind of float off into the creek, and we live happily ever after. Blood Sabbath! Anyway, that's it. Like I said, tons of nudity in this movie, a little bit of blood. Just a strange little relic from the 70s. It's never gotten a decent DVD release, certainly not on Blu-ray. My guess is the film elements are long gone, and no one's tried to revive them. But maybe it's out there. It would be nice to get a nice Blu-ray of this, a nice cleaned-up copy, but it is what it is for now. You can get this. I believe it's probably in the public domain. It's on this Pure Terror collection. I might have it on another collection as well. It's probably on others as also. So anyway, I'll leave a link to something down below. I did notice on eBay today there actually is a PAL DVD from Australia, a standalone DVD of this. It's the only standalone I found. I'm sure the quality is just as shitty, so it is what it is. Check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about Blood Sabbath. Watch it. Bye.